Great to see you all today. Sylvia, good morning.
Good morning, Reverend Jerry, and good morning. I see somebody special there, Reverend Suzette.
I know the boss is here, so we have to behave ourselves. Yes.
Oh no, we can't do our usual shtick, eh?
That right? Absolutely, absolutely. Glad you're here. Glad you're here as well.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to say something before we do our opening song?
No, I'll do it later.
Okay, good.
Okay, well,
Okay.
let me get everybody roused up.
Okay.
I know y'all missed me, and guess what? Teacher's back. Anyway, hello and welcome, and let's do our opening song, God is My Source. And there it is.
Stand
wow,
if you're
it's
able, if you would
big.
like to.
Yes. Okay, and today, let's sing it with a lot of
And before you do that, just so you all know, in case you haven't noticed, the words and the program and all the rest of that is magically appearing on the big screen over here to the west.
And there's a reason, there's a surprise.
So for those of you that are still looking to the left, forget it. Yeah. Look this way. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. I give everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Power. Joy gives me everything I need. Oh yeah. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Now we get peace. Peace is my source. Hey, peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. Hey, hey, hey. I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Again, God gives me everything I need. One more time. God gives me everything I need.
Put me on this mic. Oh, there we are. I'll yell at you. Sorry. Well, happy 4th of July. Yes, did you have a good time? Are you having a good time? We still have today left, you know. And we have a party afterwards. So hamburgers and hot dogs on the house. Have as many as you want. And we have salads too, and we have some grapes, and maybe something else people brought. McDonald's, you want to go there? No, no, Steve. Ours is original. You can have ours. Anyway, I want to welcome Sunny back. Sunshine Sunny, yes. Yay. She was gone for a couple months, and I'm like, yeah, the first week she got over in Peru, correct? She was online. Now, I don't know if you got to watch this later, but I was so impressed. It was like, Peru. So we have something very special today because we have someone coming online who's going to sing from England. It's really special. I'm just so thrilled. It's Lauren Grace. Remember Lauren Grace? She was here a few times before she left. And anyway, I'm thrilled that we're going to try this, see how it goes. Still got some technology stuff to work on, but she's going to do, how do I say that word? Acapella. See, I have to learn words. I was going to say Acapulco, yeah, but didn't quite work. But tomato, yeah. Anyway, I'm really thrilled because part of what this whole thing is about is bringing other communities together from different parts of the world. And just like Candace comes online, and she's from, God knows, a long ways away. And to me, it's exciting because I have a minister I mentor in Canada, and she has a church about the same size. And so, we're going to try and do some fun things. To me, this is how we pull it all together, how we understand each other, how we learn from each other, how we realize we're not alone, all those different things. So today I'm your practitioner, so I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, and I will take you into the prayer for today. There is a power that will light your way to heal, to happiness, to peace, and success, if you will but turn towards that light. According to our founder, Ernest Holmes, the spark within our soul is derived from the eternal flame of spirit, and our purpose is to recognize, nurture, and express this divine essence by living from our divine center, acknowledging it in others and working for it in our own communities and the world. We kindle the flame of wholeness within us and around us. And so as we all go into meditation, I invite you to repeat to yourself, I am perfect, whole, and complete. I am perfect, whole, and complete. I am perfect, I am whole, I am complete. And so as we come together this beautiful day, let us know that where we are is a sanctuary of love, a sanctuary of community, a sanctuary of knowing the greatest good for all. So as I open this prayer, I also want to open this prayer for our beloveds in Texas, Kerrville, and know that as we listen to the talk today, let us hold them in our prayers and know the truth and the hearts that are being affected today, knowing that as we send our love out, they feel that. And as I know that truth, I also know that we have a couple of congregants that are in the hospital, and they're watching this on Zoom, which is amazing. And I just want us to hold them in our prayers as we continue today. And so I give great thanks for this time we have together, for the intention of being together, for the day of freedom, a day of knowing that Spirit guides and directs us in every single moment. And so I bless the technology, I bless the music, I bless all of us that have intentionally come to be together, to have some fun, learn something, and to praise the one divine essence we call God. For that, I am grateful, and I let it be, and so it is. And so let's bring in Lauren. There she is. So, Lauren, we're going to let you take it over, and we can't hear you, though, just so you know. Turn your volume up. Can't hear you. Nothing. She could do that, yeah. No. Let's all pray. This is what I did in ministerial school. When technology didn't work, we just pray. All right? You can reboot. Do you want to reboot? Go ahead and reboot if you need to do that. Just let us know, and we'll bring you back in. Yeah. Are you off? There, she'll come back. She'll come back. So we're gonna have hamburgers today. We should have our slapstick thing going now, you know. Well, I'll make announcements while we're waiting for her to come back on. How's that sound? Does that sound like a good idea? So next week we have a special guest also. We have Gio, who's going to be doing the ringing bowls, next week with Mary. We're trying to coordinate what that looks like, but be prepared for something very special. Is it anybody's birthday today or this month? Jerry? Oh, well, why don't we sing happy birthday? Can we do that? Look at this is how you fill time, guys, okay? And we're okay with this.
Am I working now?
Oh, she's working now. Yay.
The magic of Zoom.
We're going to do a birthday song, so just stay online, okay?
I will.
You can hear us all sing. So, up, you two. We need you, Leanne and Jerry. Day to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jerry and Leanne. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. I love how we just kind of go with the flow here, right? Don't have to be too serious about anything. So we're going to bring in our beloved. I'm so thrilled to have Lauren with us, and she's going to be back too. So let's give her a very big welcome right now. Yeah.
Okay, can you give me a thumbs up so I know we're live?
Yeah.
Yay!
Welcome.
I don't need this. So I can't hear you right now, but I'm hoping you can hear me and you will be able to join in with this lovely song. I'm going to read the poem first. It's a poem that I wrote some years ago, and it was like a download of a gift to my own heart that I needed to hear at the time. And then it evolved into a chant. So we'll be singing together in a moment. But first, I want to read the poem. It's called Just Imagine. Just imagine for a moment that I love you, that I've always loved you. Just imagine for a moment that I have held you in your every hour, longing for you to know this sweet love, expanding love, divine love. Never have I left you. Never have I left you alone. I am here for you, just for you, always for you. I am love, and so are you. Imagine that in every moment. Okay, so the song, which then came from this poem, I started to hear this tune to it and singing along to it. So the first half, I think you have the lyrics there. The first half, you're getting an echo. That's not good. Oh, gosh, guys. What should we do? I'm going to put these in so I can hear you guys. I'm not sure.
You tell her we don't hear an echo.
Okay. So there's an echo?
No.
No, it's gone. Okay. I just got to look. Okay. I'm going to sing, all right? And then until you tell me to stop. Okay, bye. All right. So as I was saying, the first half I will sing, and then I'm going to put my hand on my chest when we're getting ready for you to echo what I'm saying or respond to what I'm saying, and then I'll put my hand out. I think Sylvia is going to be there supporting you as well. So this is how it goes. Just imagine for a moment that I love you, that I've always loved you. Just imagine for a moment that I've held you in your every hour, longing for you to know, longing for you to know the sweet love. Oh yeah, the sweet love. Never have I left you, never have I left you, never have I left you alone, never have I left you alone. I am love, I am love, so are you,
So are you.
Imagine that,
Imagine that.
in every moment. Can you do that?
In
In
every
every
moment.
moment. Back to the beginning. Just imagine for a moment that I love you, that I've always loved you. Just imagine for a moment that I've held you in your every hour, longing for you to know,
Longing for you to know
this sweet love. Oh yes, this
Oh,
sweet
sweet
love. Here we
love.
go. Never have I left you.
Never have I left you.
Never have I left you alone.
Never have I left you alone.
I am love.
I am love.
So are you.
So are you.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
In every moment. Have that one.
In
Do a
every
little shrug with it. Feels good. In
moment.
every moment.
In every moment.
Just imagine for a moment that I love you, that I've always loved you. Just imagine for a moment that I've held you in your every hour, longing for you to know,
Longing for you to know
the sweet love. Oh yeah, this sweet love. This is me. Never have I left you.
Never have I left you.
Never have I left you alone.
Never have I left you alone.
I am love.
I am love.
So are you.
So are you.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
In every moment.
In
Give it some way.
every
With
moment.
Lovely. I imagined
Lovely.
it sounded fantastic. I'm going to put my little headphones in so I can get a little
Put on your head.
hear you.
Put on your headset.
Oh, technology, isn't it fun?
There we go.
How was it?
It was good. Let's give her a hand. Yay. Yay.
Yay!
Oh, good. Thank you for doing that. And are you going to stay with us for the rest of the hour? Good. And then
have
we'll
one
bring her
more
back
song,
with
too.
another song, a cappella. A cappella. Man, I don't know. I have a cappella. I must need to go on a trip. That's all there is to it.
Yes.
Acapulco.
Acapulco.
That's right. All right. So we have someone else that's kind of special here. He's very handsome. He looks really good today, Mr. Jerry Troyer. Dr. Jerry Troyer.
It's a combination of both. Yes. So and there's a little sunburn because, as you know, I work with homeless 18 to 24-year-olds, and so the last 3 weeks I've had the joy and the opportunity to take a group to Disneyland, a group to the safari park, and a group to the fair. So on Thursday we were at the fair. So it's my healthy glow. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. So good morning, dear ones, or good afternoon, or good evening if you're somewhere else or watching later. Lauren, amazing music. So great to have you with us today. Thank you for that. So my topic for today is being free to remember who I am and who you are. And I want to go back just one more time to June 19th. Or Juneteenth, which was the national holiday that we celebrated last month, and it was in commemoration of the people held in slavery and bondage in Texas finally getting the word 2 years later about the Emancipation Proclamation and that they were indeed free. And in 1865, so pretty amazing. Remembering the words of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last. And I was thinking about this experience for them and this experience for us, because what in our lives, what stories, what beliefs, what old stuff, to use a purely spiritual term, keeps us in bondage and keeps us from being free. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. As always, I am so grateful that you are here, because whenever I am speaking with you, I am speaking with myself. So always appreciate you listening to me talk to myself. So what keeps us in bondage may very well be what we believe about ourselves, especially coming from our childhood. We were told that, and you get to fill in the blank. We were told that, maybe we were told that we weren't good enough. We were told that we couldn't, or we have to. And how often do we carry whatever that is with us for years or decades or centuries? And we're free to do that unless and until we say, now wait just a minute, that's not the truth and that no longer serves me. That's that. Remember in the Four Agreements, Reverend Dr. Don Miguel Ruiz talks, well, yeah, I don't know that he was a Reverend Doctor, but Don Miguel Ruiz talks about our domestication, and that we're taught that this is how life is, and this is what little girls do and don't do. This is what little boys do and don't do, and all of those other things that we brought along with us, and we assumed that it was true because somebody that we thought was in authority told us. And so we said, okay, that must be how it is. And so often, again, unless and until we say, now, wait just a minute, that is no longer my truth. And it's important because I believe that every decision we make about life and relationships and what we will say yes to and what we will say no to reflects what we believe about ourselves, our worth, and our deservedness, and our relationship to spirit. So who am I and who are you? Jesus said in Matthew 5, verses 14 to 16, you are the light of the world. A city that is built upon a mountain cannot be hidden, nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, so that it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Remember that song from Sunday school, those of us that grew up in Christianity? This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Hide it under a bushel? No, I'm going to let it shine. But do we forget that? Now think about Jesus's words being the light of the world in those times. So you're going from city to city on your camel with your worldly goods, and it's starting to get dark. There aren't street lights. There aren't Hilton hotels. There aren't cell phones. So to be the light of the world in darkness was pretty amazing. This is big stuff. You, right here, right now, in this moment, are the light of the world. So I am and you are. Come on. Come on. Whoop. There we are. Oops. One more. There we are. So I am, and we just sang this, I am love. You are loved. We are divinely guided. Do you have that experience? And I know you have that experience that I don't know what to do about this. And the still small voice, not ego, but the still small voice says, go here. Do this. Call this person. It's amazing. And yet, no, because we're one with this loving, nurturing presence that always tells us what we need to know. So we are divinely guided. We are divinely protected, and we are ease and grace. And we experience ease and grace. I don't know about you, but I run in the other direction from drama. I guess, and maybe when you reach a certain age, but I would suggest no matter what age you are, if there's all that hoo-ha, I'm changing the channel, or I'm changing the conversation, or I'm just not getting involved in that. We don't have to do that, because ease and grace is not only who we are, but it can be and can be. I was going to say should be. I don't should. But it can be what we choose to experience. So if that's who we are, who are we not? We are not our bank balance or net worth. We are not our BMI. We are not our past. We are not our level of education. We are not what we do. And if you've ever had the experience of being in a job for a really long time and then being lovingly released, which sounds so much better than laid off, or fired, or consciously chose to retire, so often we attach our worth and our value and our identity to what we do. But if we are what we do, then when we don't, we aren't. And you can think about that if you want to. But the point is, we attach our worth and our value and our identity to whatever that job is. And as much as we might have loved it, how important it is to recognize that's what we do, that's not who we are. We are not our marital status. And we are not anything outside of ourselves or our self, with a capital S. Self being that oneness with spirit, that essence, expression, and experience of spirit. But again, so often we carry what somebody said or what we were taught or what we believe back from the day that determines our belief about our worth and our value and our whether or not we're worthy and whether or not we're enough. So we'll talk more about that. So I don't know about you, but there have been experiences in my life that didn't turn out exactly the way I had in mind. I know, right? I may be the only one in the room, and that's okay. Wow, that was interesting. What wisdom can I take from that? How can I do that if that situation happens again? What wisdom can I keep from it and leave the rest? No need for guilt, no need for shame, no need for anything other than, wow, that was interesting. How will I do that next time? So as you may know, and I was thinking about this, as you may know, June was Pride Month in a lot of major cities and states around the country. July is Pride Month in San Diego. Thank you very much. And it's interesting because most major cities celebrated last month. We're doing July. Atlanta is doing October because you don't, and I think probably the reason is you don't want to be on a parade float in Atlanta in July. You want to do it in October because it can be a little warm and a little humid. But think about the word, and every time we human beings assign meaning and history and everything else to the words that we use, and perception of and interpretation of that word. And every time I hear the word pride, my ego says, well, you know, the Bible says, pride goeth before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall, coming from Proverbs. God opposed the proud, but shows favor to the humble. So what do we mean if we can give the word pride a break? How can we reframe this to loving wisdom and our truth rather than that? Because it's always our opportunity to look at our perception of something, and if it no longer serves us, change it. So consider pride. Nope, that's not it yet. Consider pride as, in a negative context, that I know you, I know about all of your stuff, and even bigger, I know how this is going to play out and what I need to do, versus being willing to say, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out. Can we do that? Do we have the relationship? I think I might have talked about this a month or so ago, but as a review, do we have the relationship with this loving, nurturing presence that we can say, I don't know what to do next? To have that don't know mind. And so I found this book, The 5 Invitations by Frank Ostaseski. Absolutely wonderful book. If you don't have it in your library, I really invite you to get it. And he writes about don't know mind. It's not ignorance or lack of knowledge, but rather curiosity, surprise, and wonder. It's receptive and ready to meet whatever shows up as it is. And he goes on to say, don't know mind is not limited by agendas, roles, and expectations. It is free to discover. When we are filled with knowing, when our minds are made up, it narrows our vision, obscures our ability to see the whole picture, and limits our capacity to act. We only see what our knowing allows us to see. The wise person is both compassionate and humble and knows that she does not know. That's why we don't judge by appearances, because we can only see what we can see, but there's always something more. And despite the appearances of struggle and conflict and, oh my God, there is ease and grace. I was in New York City 3 weekends ago. I know. So much fun. Spoke at a small church in Collingswood, New Jersey. If you've ever been on the East Coast, you know it's such an amazing experience, because to get out of California, you got to drive 5 hours that way or 30 hours that way, but you can go through 4 states between now and lunchtime in the mid-Atlantic states and the Northeast. So I'm sleeping in Pennsylvania, speaking in New Jersey, and I stayed with a friend who goes to New York City all the time because it's 3 hours. So if I went to New York City by myself, I would drive and pay $75 an hour to park and experience the experience of New York City traffic and all of that. But my dear friend Paul lives there, goes to New York City regularly, and so we took the train. The train into the city, and then the subway. My first time on a New York subway. It was so much fun, and I lived to tell about it. So we had so much fun and had Junior's cheesecake. This was a religious experience. And I know religious experiences. It was so good, and it was so good we did it twice. It was so good. So it's Sunday morning, and I'm doing my thing with this just absolutely beloved. This is Reverend Dr. Margaret Pileggi's congregation, who Reverend Dr. Suzette knows. Just the nicest people, and just my adopted East Coast spiritual family. They're just so wonderful. So I'm doing my thing, and we're on a break between the talk and the workshop, and my phone pings, and it's United, my friends at United Airlines, because I'm coming home Sunday late afternoon, telling me that that they've changed my flight and bumped it up an hour. And so I'm going to connect through Denver rather than Chicago. Okay, great. Right. So did my thing, talk just a little faster, because that means I have an hour less to hang out in the airport in Philly than I was planning to. So got to the airport, on the plane to Denver. I'm not sure why United did this, because I had like a 3.5 hour layover in Denver. But stay tuned. So we're over probably Omaha, and Denver is having wind shear. And probably so was Omaha, yes. So we went to Colorado Springs and landed and parked and waited and got gas and waited, and then they opened the airport again, and we were able to go on to Denver. And so my connection time that was 3.5 hours turns out to be an hour and a half. But to make a long story even longer, well, no, wait a minute, before I make the long story longer. So we're sitting on the tarmac in Colorado Springs, and see, this is Sunday afternoon, late afternoon, and I could hang out in Denver and come home the next day, except that I'm helping my sister move Monday morning, and so the movers are coming, and so I need to be home to do that so that I can do this, so that I can do this. And my drama mind is, okay, so what do we do? Do we call somebody? Do we ... And the still small voice said, allow. Just allow this. Know that you are ease and grace. You experience ease and grace. So now, to make a long story even longer, got to Denver, raced to the gate, delayed another hour and a half, made it home. And of course, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that you made it home safe and sound. And I did, and got enough of a night's sleep and was able to navigate. Nothing like air travel in the summer, unless it's air travel in the winter. But the point is, when we allow, because that's all we're doing. That's all we're allowing this loving, nurturing presence to be with us, as us, and guide us through whatever it is, and not get involved in the oh my God, and instead recognize that we'll get there. Pride in the recognition of who we are and whose we are allows us to not judge by appearances, to not get involved in the hoo-ha, using another fairly spiritual term. It allows us to step back and say, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know when I'm going to get home, but I know that it will all unfold exactly as it should, and I am always safe, and I am always loved. When we remember the truth of who we are, we can take that deep breath and know, I don't have to get upset. It will all work out exactly as it should. So we hear the expression, and Brene, I have a quote for you from Brene Brown from Imperfect Life, but she talks about a wholehearted life. I love the concept of that, because to me, wholehearted is, I can take a deep breath and relax because I'm okay. It's the difference between, and because I'm talking about airlines, it's the difference between the first class seat and 34E in the back of the plane in coach, between two people in the seat ahead of the restroom that doesn't recline. The nosebleed seats, yes. So rather than staying on guard for what could happen, we allow ourselves to be in the present moment and know that we are loved and all is well. So we live a wholehearted life in this pride, in a good way, allowing ourselves to tell our truth in a loving way, including yes and including no. Being teachable. Because I know. But when we step back, we can say, maybe I don't know. and it's a teachable moment. I love that term. Being willing to ask, seek, and knock. And I did this, and then I was thinking about the word willing, because I'm willing to do a whole bunch of things, but willing is not an action word. You know, we can sit here for the next 6 months and be willing to do whatever it is, but we need to be willing and then do it. So remember in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus talked about ask, seek, and knock. Do we do that? And then do we listen and act on those intuitive ideas that come to us? And then be willing to not know. And then do whatever we're told to do. Living a wholehearted life means we are consciously aware of our worthiness of all the good that life has for us, because life can only do for us what life can do through us. And we've shared this story before, and we will again, but the guy there's been a flood, and he's on his roof, and he's prayed, and he's waiting for God to send him relief. And the helicopter comes along, and he says, no, I'm waiting for God. And then the rowboat comes along, and he says, no, I'm waiting for God, and something else. And he dies and goes to heaven and says, well, how come you didn't rescue me? And God, paraphrase, says, well, what do you want? I sent you 3 different opportunities. Do we listen and then act on those intuitive ideas, recognizing that, of course, we're worthy. Of course, all the good that there is there for us, because it's the truth of our being. Living a wholehearted life means we're consciously aware of our worthiness. I already said that. And not if and not when, but right now. Right now in this moment. So what keeps us from living a wholehearted life? And I would suggest that top of my list is the term is destination anxiety. You might have heard that before. I'll be the beloved as soon as. I'll be worthy as soon as I lose the weight, or gain the weight, or get the degree, or get the new relationship, or get out of the old relationship, or find the new job, or clean out the garage, or, and there's all those those goals and dreams and all the rest of that we can attach our worthiness to, or we can say right now in this moment, I am the beloved and are worthy of whatever it is. We don't live a wholehearted life when we allow someone else to be the expert in our lives. Excuse me, you really should. You really shouldn't. Well, and I don't know about you, but you've heard me say this before, that should and shouldn't are red flags for me, because if you start the sentence with that, then automatically, thank you so much for your guidance. Thank you so much for your concern. I really appreciate it. And then most likely I'm going to go do the opposite, right? Just because. Comparison. Well, you're this age, so you really should have this, or you should have gotten rid of that, or whatever the case might be. What do we settle for? What do we settle for versus what we really, really want? And then there is guilt because I did something bad, or shame because I am bad. And how important it is for us to recognize that none of that is the truth of who we are. We are free to look at whatever it is and release all that no longer serves us. So if our lives don't look like a Hallmark movie, and they're doing Christmas in July, I know, right? No more Golden Girls. They got Christmas in July. I'm like, really? I haven't even done Halloween yet. which is now Summerween. You know, we're celebrating Summerween in July and I know, right? June and July. But anyway, if my life doesn't look like a Hallmark movie, and I don't know anybody whose life looks like a Hallmark movie, instead of beating ourselves up, we recognize that that's the lusciousness of this experience that we call life. Wow, look at this. What blessing has this brought me? How can I move forward? So, I want to be perfect. I want to be charming and sparkling and wonderful and all of those things. And I am 67 2/3% of the time. And I'm hateful and cranky and impatient and surly and all those other things. And so are you. And it has nothing to do, and I'll talk about perfection in just a second, has nothing to do with our perfection and everything to do with the fact that in our perfection, and you might have issues with that word, and if you do, that's okay, but I would suggest that in our perfection, we have all of those things as human beings. And it's just part of who we are. Do we live lives? I love this. Do we live lives that we feel we need to escape from? Build a life you don't need to escape from. Because lying on the chaise lounge by the swimming pool with an adult beverage in my hand in Hawaii is a wonderful thing. But at some point, unless you've got a situation that I'm not aware of, we have to come home. We have to come home and come back to work, or come back to the dog, or come back to the family. Can we do that? Or do we dread returning to our lives? And if our lives feel like something we need to escape from, there's always the opportunity to look at them and make those changes so that, yes, I'm having a great time on this vacation, and I'm going to have an equally great time when I get home. Because it's so important for home to be a wonderful, loving, nurturing, safe place. So Brené Brown talks about authenticity, a wholehearted and authentic life, cultivating the courage to be imperfect, to set boundaries, and to allow ourselves to be vulnerable, to exercise the compassion that comes from knowing that we're all made of strength and struggle, and nurturing the connection and sense of belonging that can only happen when we believe we are enough. We are right in this moment, not as soon as we are enough. Authenticity demands wholehearted living and loving, even when it's hard, even when we're wrestling with the shame and fear of not being good enough, and especially when the joy is so intense that we're afraid to let ourselves feel it. Have you ever had one of those? Oh my God, this is just too good. No such thing. No such thing. Mindfully practicing authenticity during our most soul-searching struggles is how we invite grace, joy, and gratitude into our lives. So think of perfect. I am perfect. When we can let go of what other people think, because so often our perception of perfection, say that 5 times fast, our perception of perfection is based on what somebody else told us. But when we can let go of what other people think and our own story, we gain access to our worthiness, the feeling that we are enough just as we are, and we're worthy of love and belonging. When we spend a lifetime trying to distance ourselves from the parts of our lives that don't fit with who we're supposed to be, we stand outside of our story and hustle for our worthiness by constantly performing, perfecting, pleasing, and proving. Our sense of worthiness, that critical, important piece that gives us access to love and belonging, lives inside of ourselves. So I could have handled that differently. but I couldn't, because at the time I was doing the best I could with what I had to work with. I could have, and you get to fill in the blank, but the truth is I couldn't, because that's where I was dealing with whatever I was dealing with. And in that moment, because in every moment we're doing the best we can with what we have to work with, and oh, by the way, and this is really a bitter pill, so is everybody else. We're doing the best we can, and so is everyone else. So in this moment, we are already whole, complete, and perfect. So today and every day, we are free to ask, seek, and knock, forgive ourselves and others, change our beliefs and stories no matter how long we've told them. If it doesn't make your heart sing and your tail wag, we can change that story. And if that belief no longer serves us, we can change it. We can say yes. We can say no. Or not. We can go later today and tomorrow and keep exactly the same of whatever it is. But if it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't serve us, why would we? Why would we keep all this? Why would we schlep all of this that no longer serves us? There's always the opportunity to make that change. Because I'm closing with this, I promise, if you aren't being treated with love and respect, including by yourself, check your price tag. Maybe you've marked yourself down. It's you who tell people what you're worth. Get off the clearance rack and get behind the glass where they keep the valuables. I love that. So with that in mind, join me in the light for just a minute. So in the peace and the quiet of this moment, we give great thanks for this beloved spiritual community and for the opportunity to be together. We give great thanks for this weekend, reminding ourselves of our independence and our freedom to do, be, and have whatever makes our tails wag. We give great thanks for the gentle reminder that we're the beloved, that we are the essence, expression, and experience of spirit. And because of that, life always says yes. So we move forward in abundance, in passion, in possibility, and the quiet knowing that all is well. For this day, for our time together, we give great thanks. And together we say, and so it is. And let's bring back Lauren.
Hello.
It's a great picture.
Hello, I'm still here. I can't hear you, but I'm going to sing. Okay?
Yay.
This is a beautiful song that I learned at a women's retreat, and it's called Holy Ones. We are the holy ones. Put your hand on your heart. Who may have forgotten or come undone, but now is the time for the human soul to remember the greatest story to which we belong. You are my brother. You are my sister. You are my community. You are the holy ones. So now is the time for the human soul to remember the greatest story to which we belong. And just taking a nice deep breath into your heart and feeling that wholeness and that beautiful love that is available to you at all times if you imagine it to be so. Because it is. Thank you so much for welcoming me on this beautiful Sunday, and I hope to see you again in this virtual way. So thank you.